The IPA is a single-axis servo drive controller available in two different power sizes, a 3 amp or a 6.3 amp continuous output. Uh, the IPA04 is 400 watt, which is 3 amps continuous, 9 amps peak. The 1500 IPA 15 is 1500 watts, which is 6.3 amps continuous, 18.9 amps peak. Size is 3 inches wide or 3.4 inches wide for the IPA 15. Both are 7 inches wide and 5.3 inches deep. Runs on 120 or 240 volt AC. You've got separate motor power and separate control power, or you can use a jumper and run them all on the same connection. There is a 24 volt optional keep alive up on the top. Uh, Servo update rate is 16 megahertz, still very fast, giving you great motor performance. That 25 pin D sub on the front is where your I/O are. There's 7 programmable inputs. There, out of those 7 inputs, 3 are high speed, so you can use an external line speed encoder automatically on there that are registered, or you can also use one or all 3 as high speed inputs. There's also 4 discrete outputs on that 25 pin D sub connector. We give you the plus and the minus on the on those I/O, so you can wire them up NPN or PNP, so syncing or sourcing. Either way, you're good. The analog inputs, there's 2 of them up on the top connector. There's also redundant torque enable inputs on there. It ships with jumpers. You can run that to a safety circuit on the machine. Removing power from there will cut power to the amplifier bridge. Supports incremental encoder and BIS-C. It also supports hyperface DSL and analog inputs. There's the secondary encoder input, which is on the 25 pin D sub. That's the consumes 2 of the 3 high-speed inputs, so a standard quadrature encoder can be used there for line speed input. That can also be used as the secondary feedback as well. Communications development software is all the same as the ACR 7000, same Acro Basic programming language. You can use the new Parker Motion Manager. It was originally released with ACR View 6.4 that will also work for existing applications. We've made a lot of new improvements with Parker Motion Manager, so for any new applications, we really recommend using the Parker Motion Manager. It's UL, CE, and ROHS, and it has Ethernet IP built in if you need to take advantage of that. It's already built in. It's not an add-on option. You don't have to purchase it as an option or a factory installed adder. All the standard units already have those in there. There's 3 LEDs up at the top. The dial switches set the IP addresses. There's 2 Ethernet ports that you can use either one. The IP address is used on the same on one as the other. Reduces the need for switches on the machine, so you can daisy chain Ethernet cables on down the line, and 3 inches wide for the 400 watt or the 3.4 inches wide for the 1500 watt. Same height, same depth. The IPA came out before the ACR 7000 and was really the springboard to the ACR 7000 series. It was a ground up new hardware design, separates the motor control from the controller itself. Better noise immunity, reduced noise emissions, greatly improved from the previous generation products. The processor is much faster than the previous generation, giving us the ability to have Ethernet IP communications on the controller, also to also be an Ethernet IP scanner at the same time, and also serve up to 5 connections with the Ethernet TCP IP communications. So, great product, been around for out for 5 years or so, and still going strong.